AstroTarot Show, and I, of course, am your celestial host, Serona Rose. Thank you so much for joining us tonight as we go through the movements of our celestial heavens, and we try to decipher the energetic influences that it's going to have on our Earth and how that will affect us. I do want to add that we've been having a lot of solar activity, so be mindful of that. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Make sure you're eating good food, getting good rest, and drinking water and hydrating yourself. We are also into the Pisces season, and I talked about Pisces on the last show. But happy birthday, all of you Pisces out there. My grandmother is a Pisces, so Pisces holds a very a close place to my heart. I'm also an Aries sun and a rising, so it's really close. Now, Pisces is the sea. It's that, the way that I see it is Pisces is this primordial sea where everything is one. It's all as a culmination of everything. And as we get ready to step into Aries season, it is an individual stepping out of that oneness into figuring out who they are as an individual. Now, Pisces energy, I really like it, but one of the shadow sides of it is that it is very, it can be deceitful, because it is the waters. Neptune is its planet, and these waters are about illusions. This is also escapism energy. So we have to be careful not to do that. Those of you that are acceptable, I can't even talk. Those of you who have the addiction problems, those things like that, and this is everything, not just drugs or alcohol, guys. Addictions can be food, they can be anything. So we have to be careful of that. When we get into stress, we really want to just, get out of it and, take ourselves back to escape from that energy. So we have to be careful not to do that. We have to face these things. And to me, it's almost, that is what the individual stepping out of the Piscean waters into the sign of Aries, that is what that energy is to me, is saying, okay, I can no longer just sit here and just, soak up all of this oneness. I have to go, there's a path that I need to walk, and there is something that I need to do. And so I do always urge people during Pisces season that remember that you do have to face your challenges head on. And you can't always revert to, to your crutch to escape from it. So we get to February the 22nd. Can you believe it? I mean, it's just like this year began, and we got a slow start, and now all the planets going forward. We're finally starting to move, and now all of a sudden, boom, we find ourselves getting close to the end of February. And the February the 22nd is Ash Wednesday. And I want to talk about this because this is very important, because I talked about this before on the last show, but I want to bring this back because here this number is coming back again. So the number for that day is number 11. And like I said on the last show, this is what they call a master number. It is the first of the double digit numbers, and it's spiritual. It is very in tune to its intuitive nature. But the number 11 itself is a one mirroring itself. So it's one facing one. And this is showing us that the biggest obstacle or challenge, whatever you want to call it, that we have to overcome in our life is ourself. We will talk ourselves out of many things that are very, very easy. So again, that will, again, warning you against escapism. Now, 11 itself is about reflection, and it's learning how to trust your intuition, your inner feelings, your gut feelings. There's things that I'm sure we have, I know I have. I've witnessed some things taking place, and I'm like, that just doesn't seem right to me. That's off. Not that I'm just, not that I think that I am holier than anyone else, or that I am this great, wonderful thing. I am a human just like everyone else. But there are some things that happen that make me step back and say, I don't think this is right. There's something wrong about that. So number 11 teaches us that we have to listen to that, and we also need to understand that we are all perfectly imperfect. I like that phrase, perfectly imperfect, because 11 is very unique and it's very imperfect. It's called an imperfect number. But the reason is that it is about chaos. And the number 11 has really had, kind of like a bad rap in the past with some cultures, because it is chaos. But it's those primordial waters of creation. That is where creation comes from. But, we have to focus energy. It is about focus. We have to understand that, we are the magicians in our life. We are the creator. And we came here to grow into that and to experience that. Chaos is not seen. Chaos is not a negative thing. It's where creation comes from. All life comes from the darkness, seeds. And right now, the earth is starting to wake up. We are past Imbolc, and the earth is waking up. The bulbs and all the plant life is coming up. I'm starting to see it. My car has been covered in pollen, mostly pine pollen. But we can see that life is waking up to this vibration, right? This vibration, and it's feeding it to come alive, to wake up. Now, 11 is the higher vibration of number 2, which is a number of harmony, of union. It is very sensitive. It's empathic. And it's known as a peacemaker. So 2 is considered to be the supreme feminine. So that feminine is receptive. It can birth new things. Now, the number 2 is diplomatic, and it's very, very forgiving. It's unconditional love. So the number 2 is that mother love, that I will love you no matter what, even though you don't have to approve of how people are to love them. But for 11, this is where we get to be more humbled into that. As a master number, 11 is more powerful than number 2, and it possesses more potential. And it actually is, while 2 can sometimes be a follower, 11 is not a follower. 11 is not a follower at all. It is its own entity. And 11 is also called the psychic master. I think that's really interesting to understand, is that to be a master, it is a psychic master. So this is about being on it, being tuned in, you know, tapped in, tuned in, turned up, that sort of thing. And I think this is a really good energy as that we're having right after the new moon, because 11 was our new moon. Now, this number urges us to explore things, and that is beyond our physical world, that is beyond what is the physical nature of existence. Now, that is what is before our face, you know, what is right before us. And this is about getting deeper into what lies beneath. Too often we judge things by its cover, and we don't dive deeper to find out what is hidden. 11 acts as a doorway into the subconscious, allowing one to express their highest potential. It is a number that is it's connected with evolution. So it's taking those next steps, stepping up, stepping above, because you got to think 11 comes after 10, and 10 is the number of completion. Okay, so after we get to the number 10, and if you look at the tarot, you will see this. It's a gateway into evolution. It's a gateway. It's stepping up. It's stepping up your game. It's like when you're new, you have to learn the ropes. You have to learn how to do these things. But then you get to a certain place where you step up. You know how to do these things. You know what this tool is for. You know how to use it. So this energy is very charismatic. So it's very it's very creative. Okay, and this is the energy of a charismatic leader too, someone that can get others to follow them, and can because they speak from more they speak from concepts that are more spiritual. They are more their understandings are vast. They are willing. This is the energy that's willing to go into those dark paths to discover the shining light at the end. So this is really good energy to have. And the number 11 is also known as a messenger of the universe. So yeah, this is it can create great trials in our life, but that is what helps us grow and evolve. Now, when we get to this week, I want to talk about the number 22 as well. 22, because today's the 22nd. 22 is a very creative number as well, and it's powerful. Matter of fact, it is considered to be the most powerful number of all. While number 11 is referred to as the psychic master, 22 is the master builder. 22 is the architect of the numbers. So it is, if you divide it down, 22 is a number 4. And a number 4 represents the 4 building blocks of our world: earth, air, fire, and water. So this number is the energy of bringing those big dreams into the material, into the tangible. This is related to, 22 is related to circles. So this is the totality of creation. So number 11 and 4, both are very, very intuitive. They are 11, both of these numbers, they're intuitive, they're practical. But 4 is systematic. And it is about creating that. 22 is more of a realistic approach to things. It has more of that that earth, that practical, realistic energy to it. But it's not as spiritual as number 11, but it is more practical. It's saying, okay, 11 are these dreams, and 22 is like, okay, let's bring them into the tangible, but we have to be realistic about it. You know, we can't expect some things to happen overnight. Things have to take time to happen. And our world that we live in, it is controlled by time. So we have to allow that. At the beginning of things, we are, it's not better than 11. It's different. Okay. So it is better at bringing, 22 is going to be better at bringing the energy into the tangible world. So, you know, I would say if you do your new moon manifestation, I would actually continue it on that day to kind of add into that energy. This can be nervous energy, so watch out for that. This is high. It can be a time where accidents can happen. It is also, be careful about what energy you are surrounding yourself in that day. You'll want to, this is the energy of the unlimited. So it's the energy of the unlimited as well as the orderly. So you have to look for that. It's intuitive and rational. So it's like all over the place, and then it's structured. It's very intuitive, but it's very practical. So you see how it's bringing that. It's good at bringing that's in the other world, into the spirit world, into this world. Number 22 is really confident energy. So this is the energy of a great leader, a great, and exhibits a big plans, like someone who, a great leader, very charismatic, has these great ideas for the future and is ready to bring them in, and they'll let you know how they're going to bring them in as well. So that is good energy for that day, especially with everything that's going on. In spite of being irrational in its energy, it's practical. So it can be irrational, but it can be practical at the same time. And that is a good leader. You want that charismatic energy. You want that creative energy. You want them to be able to see a bigger picture, but you also want them to be realistic and explain how we are going to do this. Because, you know, we can't get lost in that illusion. That illusion is the dream, you know, and when Venus met up with Neptune in Pisces, that was complete illusion. Are you kidding me? That was the height of illusion. So we are going to start, we're going to start out this week with Mars trining Mercury. This is quick thinking. So that is really good energy for the 22. Again, that's the master builder. So you'll be quick thinking on your feet. So if there are obstacles that come to you, if there are these different, different issues that come up, 22 tells you that you will overdo them. You will get past them. And this is great because Mars and Aries, Mars and Mercury, that's going to allow that quick thinking to come to you so you're able to move past it quickly. Mercury is also going to be squaring Uranus, so that's going to, that means that the information that we find out will shake us up. There could be some shake up in communication going on, startling. You could even get get a phone call, letter, something that shocks you, something that, changes you a bit. Uranus keeps saying, it says, don't worry. Uranus is like, oh, you don't want to do that? No worry, I'll take care of it, because he blasts it out of the way. That's not necessarily the best thing to do. You don't want to always blast things out of the way. So, but Mars is saying, He's in this combo, so he wants to act. Mercury is known as the trickster, so you're going to have to be careful there. Something might come over to you that may seem like a joke, or maybe in a way that is kind of trickster like, not really funny, but more like a trickster kind of thing, that could actually mean something. So be careful about that. Don't react. Don't react to everything that goes on. Learn to respond. Learn to take it in, process it, and then respond accurately. The trickster, it wants us to, it wants you to look here. It's, like the magician. The magician says, hey, look here, why I'm doing this, but never mind what's happening over there. So, yeah, the trickster knows how to keep you occupied and have your attention on something else. Now, what we're going to be asking ourselves this week, the big thing is, what is real and what is not. We are moving forward. So Mars is in Gemini, and it's really trying to help us strategize and come up with these solutions. Now Mars is going to be in his shadow for the rest of the month, even to the end of into the end of March. So he's going to be working on how to overcome this and how to strategize. Mars is very good at strategy. He is the god of war, so he is going to strategize his way through this. And we're going to have to look at what is real and what is not, because we have Mercury the trickster here, with Uranus. Okay, so pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. On the 15th, back on the 15th, Venus in Pisces came into a conjunction with Neptune, like I just said. That was sweet and dangerous altogether, because Neptune is the energy. Neptune is that energy. Like I said, it's the dreamy, it's the illusions, but it can be like the energy of being under a spell. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, I've got to do this. If y'all have ever seen the Percy movies, that are out, the Lotus gambling place where everybody gets the Lotus cookies, they're eating Lotus cookies. That's Neptune. That is Neptune. You've got all the lights, you've got all the fancy stuff, you've got all the illusion. So we have to really watch out for that. And Venus, when she, of course, when she's in Pisces and she's coming up to Neptune, she's got a wish. She's got a wish. She wants something to happen, right? And she wants this to, she wants this dream, this wish to come true, but she's not, when she's wrapped up in that Neptunian energy, she's not looking at reality. So this is when that was the energy that we had last week about not confusing an illusion for reality. Like falling in love with the idea of someone instead of actually falling in love with who they are. Yeah, and look what we've been going through. We can look at what's going on in our world and see what's happening. Now on the 22nd also, there was a half square. The sun is going to have a half square with Saturn at 28 degrees. And also there's going to be, and this is the first of three, and Chiron as well is going to be in this. And Aries, it's a half square. So he'll be having an aspect with Chiron. This is going to be the first of three half squares that Saturn's having with Chiron. And with the last one being in November of this year. So Saturn in Aquarius, that's like an authority over an idea. And I've talked a little bit about Saturn in Aquarius, because Saturn is like, you know, he represents the rule, right? He is the rules, and Aquarius is the rule breaker. So it's a push and pull. And if you look back at the past few years, you can see where you have this push and pull of the conservative and the libertarian, the push pull. And I'm using that as an example because not as more of political, but more of what is going on. We have this push of Aquarius that's saying, hey, I want to go beyond the limits. And Saturn says, hey, whoa, you've gone far enough. And then Aquarius comes back and says, oh no, I haven't gone far enough. Watch this. So this is that kind of energy that we have been dealing with. And it's conflict. It's conflict between that which we know and that which we know to be, and that which is what can be. So Saturn and Aquarius is really push-pull. Definitely, it's that push-pull energy. So there is a conflict that we know to be true, and this is it's regarding the wounds of the past. So this is a very slow aspect, and we're going to feel it throughout this month. We're going to feel it for a little while. So don't get into that hopelessness energy. Mercury is also on the 26th. Mercury is going to have a half square with Venus, and then on the 28th with Jupiter. And then back on this, and then on the 2nd of March, Venus meets up with Jupiter, which is great energy. So then in Aries, we're going to have Venus, Chiron, and Jupiter all in this. So we're seeing here that resolutions are coming. They're coming down the pike. They just have to get here. It's not going as fast as we would like it to go. On the 28th, Neptune is going to trine Pluto. And that is definitely going to be putting a wall to the illusion. It's going to be lifting the veil and allowing us to see. So we could have some more information coming out. Some things that will be uncovered, secrets that were hid. Pluto is the planet of Scorpio, which is about secrets. So secrets are here. Being in the sign of Capricorn, that's going to be our top-down institutes, our governments, our places of authority. So this is quite interesting. And it's going to keep going, guys. It's going to keep going. And, you know, it's just happening. We have, excuse me, Venus is soon going to be moving into Aries. And this is going to be about money and passion. It's about what you love and value. It's the energy of falling in love at first sight. If you would like to know more about this energy, I urge you to go check out the myths of Aries and Aphrodite. That is a wonderful myth. You see, Aries, and when he met Aphrodite, he fell absolutely in love with her, and she was smitten with him as well. Not at first, but she was. They were secret lovers for a long time. And in Greek mythology, you know, they could have lovers, but they couldn't have the same one. Like you can play around, but you know, you're married to me, because she was married at the time. And between that union, the god Eros came. So I urge you to go read that, and to read that myth, and to tap more into that kind of energy. So I will say that with all of this, you know, Jupiter is still in Aries. So this is very lucky energy that's happening. We're going to have to look at looking outside of the appearance of things this week. There's a lot of information that's going to be flowing to us. There could be some confusion here and there. There could be some kind of unveilment that happens. There could be a lot of different, there could be a lot of things that we're finding out that's very shocking that we wasn't expecting to hear. But there is solutions to these problems, and that's what we got to look at. It's time to move forward. All the planets are ready. Time is going. It's like, okay, we're all marching forward. We're all ready to go. It is time to move forward. It is time to really put a cap on all of the illusion that's happening and be disillusioned. Disillusion's a word people don't much like, but hey, we want to live in disillusion. We want to live in reality. And the number 7 is about living in that reality. It's the seeker of seekers. And the energies that we're going through number 22, which is about producing. It's the master builder. So it's time to stop being the woe is me, stop feeling in that hopelessness. It's time to step up. We're in the Pisces season. We're well into the Pisces season. And we are soon to be in the Aries season, fixing to welcome Ostara, the spring equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere. So it is definitely time to move forward and to focus on where we are going, make sure that we are there is no we without me, okay? And we have to take care of the I. We have to make sure that we are eating good foods, that we are getting proper rest, those sort of things. And we have to understand that when we say as within, so without, we say these things in the depth of it, we don't really understand that. And we have to understand as within, so without. If we look at our world and our world's in turmoil, then what is the collective energy? That's what I'm getting to. What is the collective energy? So it's time to be the number 11 and look at yourself in the mirror and do some self-reflection. We're all human. We are not perfect. By no means. And number 11 teaches us that. We are perfectly imperfect. And that's okay, because we are all unique, and we all have this unique energetic expression that we are here to express and to share with the world. So we have to remember what our purpose is. And, we can get lost in all of this, the illusion, but we need to come back home. It's time to come back home. And it's time to fix these issues. It's time to get us back on track. It's time to step up in our evolution. So that is it for the astrology portion of the show. I want to thank you so much for listening and watching FringeTV.online. Please stay tuned for the tarot part of the show. I'll see you then.